Action.
Alright, picture yourself being stripped of everything that you've known.
Okay.
Picture yourself being stripped of everything that you've known, enlisting in the United States Marine Corps when you're 18 years old, and then getting there and then having to re-establish everything that you've ever known. My name is Gregg.mp4, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the United States Marine Corps boot camp, the enlistment process, and the phases of boot camp and graduation, and a few things after boot camp. Okay. There's actually two recruit depots in the nation. One's in Paris Island, South Carolina. That was started in 1915. According to military.com, females started training there in 1949, and that's going to be the only recruit depot in the nation where females will train to become United States Marines. According to leatherneck.com, there's 17,000 Marines annually that graduate from boot camp. And in 1948, the San Diego Recruit Depot had begun in 1948. First phases of boot camp is getting there, getting on the yellow footprints. As you see on the right-hand side, I actually stood foot on those right there getting off the bus, and picture those guys right there screaming at you, telling you everything what to do, pretty much belittling you and just breaking you down mentally and physically. First, to get into the Marine Corps, there's a process called MEPS. It's the Military Enlistment Processing Station. You pretty much have to go get physicals, tests. You take the ASVAB, which is the Armed Service Vocational Aptitude Battery. You have to take that, and that's going to depict what your MOS is, or Military Occupation Specialty. In my case, I was an 0311 United States Marine Corps infantryman. The first few phases of boot camp is pretty much drill. You're going to learn all the basic, lingo, words, how to do drill, dress, look like a Marine. That's probably one of the hardest parts. It doesn't seem like it, but it is, because you are pretty much learning a whole entire different way of life. The second phase is driving an hour north up to Camp Pendleton, which is where you get all your field training in. The field training is where you learn all your rifle drills, rifle shooting, learning how to throw mortars, or throw grenades, all that kind of stuff, which is going to pretty much get you your basic training to become a United States Marine. Keep in mind, this is just the basics of the basics. This is just boot camp. After the second phase is the third phase. The third phase is where you actually become a United States Marine. There's a thing called the Crucible. It's a 2-week training thing where you pretty much have to go through how to become a United States Marine. You have to do a lot of hiking, a lot of field work, and everything like that. You got to hike a Crucible, which there's a mountain. It's a steep mountain you have to climb up. At the very top, that's where you actually get your EGA, which is the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, and that's where you're first recognized United States Marine. I was actually a pioneer of the first new training schedule for the Marine Corps, which started in 2005. And that's where you're actually a Marine in boot camp for the last 2 weeks, so you can actually get the vibe of becoming a Marine before you actually go to your MOS school or your military occupation school. After the third phase, becoming a Marine, you have a 10-day leave. Again, according to military.com, this is where about 20% of Marines actually fail. A lot of people either drink and drive, get DUIs, kill themselves, or come back and fail drug tests. After you come back from boot camp, you have your MOS school, which mine was School of Infantry. That's about another 2 months of training. That was probably 10 times harder than actual boot camp itself. Fun facts about boot camp: people don't really. Does anybody here know why they call it boot camp? Alright, so they call it boot camp because normally, when you get into the field or to your first unit, your duty station, which mine was 2nd Battalion 1st Marines at Camp Hornell and Camp Pendleton, all your senior Marines will call you boots and all that stuff. It's because when you're fresh out of boot camp, all of them think, oh, I'm like a Marine, I'm cool, I'm like the best thing known to man. Well, it's because their boots are fresh and clean, and they're not dirty, and they have no action, they haven't seen anything like that. So that's a little fun fact about that. But pretty much it is a task and it is pretty hard, and it's about 20% of the nation will enlist, or no, sorry, 15% of the nation will enlist, but only about 10% will actually succeed. My name is Gregg.mp4. That was a brief history on United States Marine Corps Boot Camp.